This wealthy CEO was trying to take care of his son for the very first time, but his son showed him no mercy and spat milk all over his hand. The CEO hurried to grab some tissues, only to accidentally knock over the can of formula on the table. Looking at the powdered milk scattered across the floor, he could only sigh helplessly. However, his one-year-old son thought it was fun. He immediately climbed off the bed and smeared formula all over the CEO's pants. Just then, the assistant walked in. Seeing the CEO in such a miserable state, he could not help laughing before turning around to call the maids to clean up. After a while, the CEO finally got his son to fall asleep. Both he and the assistant let out a sigh of relief at once. It was at this moment that he realized how tough the boy's foster mother had been over the past year. It turned out that his son was stolen by his enemies and left in the countryside when he was only a month old. By coincidence, a woman who had returned to her hometown happened to find the baby. Because she loved children very much, she immediately took him home and legally adopted him. After that, she devoted herself to taking care of him for an entire year. Just when she thought their happy life would continue forever, the CEO discovered that his son had been adopted by her. He immediately rushed to her house. The moment he saw his son, he realized the boy had been taken care of extremely well. To repay the woman, the CEO gave her a large sum of money. But just as he was about to take his son away, the child clung tightly to the woman and refused to leave. The CEO instantly realized that his son was still too young to handle such a sudden separation. So he simply threw the woman over his shoulder and decided to bring her home with them. After returning home, he explained his family situation to her. Since the child's biological mother had passed away a year earlier, he wanted to hire the woman as the boy's temporary nanny. Once the child no longer depended on her, she would be free to leave. Worried that the CEO might not take good care of the child in the future, the woman had no choice but to agree. That very night, the baby came down with a high fever. Luckily, they sent him to the hospital in time, and his life was never in danger. The woman told the CEO that the baby rarely got sick, but his fever would always turn severe once it started. She also explained that the child was allergic to peanuts and carefully listed many of his habits. The CEO was deeply moved after hearing this. He could tell that the woman truly loved his son. One day, the woman's father was hospitalized, so she had to ask the CEO for leave to visit him. Since the woman was away, the CEO had to bring his son to work. None of the employees had expected their cold and powerful CEO to actually have a child. The assistant reminded him that a meeting was about to start. The CEO originally planned to leave the baby with the assistant, but the baby grabbed his pant leg and did not want to be apart from him. Left with no choice, the CEO carried his son into the meeting room. Halfway through the meeting, the baby suddenly burst into tears. No matter what they tried, they could not calm him down. Panicked, the CEO quickly video called the woman to ask what was wrong. The woman asked if he had not changed the baby's diaper for a long time. The CEO suddenly realized what was wrong. He immediately told his assistant to get a new diaper and got ready to change it himself. The woman told him to wipe the baby's bottom clean before putting on a new diaper. As soon as the man started to do it, the baby kicked him right in the face. The employees couldn't help laughing at the sight. They never thought the stern and aloof CEO would end up in such a silly situation.